Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is the end of August and I thought I would do another garden tour and a huge harvest today. So follow along and let's see what we get. So to start off, I'm going to harvest this potato patch here. I have been harvesting throughout the summer, just a handful of potatoes for dinner, but now the plants are starting to fall over. They are starting to get a little bit like crispy on the edges, so I think I'm just going to take them out. They're a pretty good size right now, so I'm going to go for it. Nice size potato there. So this is our first row of potatoes. Not a bad harvest. Some of my potatoes have been nibbled on, so I'm just kind of checking those ones. That's a good one, huh? And this is what the harvest looks like after picking everything. So the fingerlings didn't do super great, and I think it's because they were in a low-lying area of the garden and they got really wet. So I just don't think that they had either enough oxygen or just they don't like being super wet. So they just didn't do as well as the other two varieties did, but I'm pretty happy with this harvest. So moving along to my brassica bed now. I have a bunch of Brussels sprouts that I need to pick. They're starting to open up and get a little bit too big, so I'm going to pick all of these and cut the leaves off. And then, I don't know if I'll do this today, but I'm going to eventually just clear out this entire bed aside from the carrots. But I'm going to start with the Brussels sprouts. I don't know if I'll be able to cut these. Oh my god, the stalks are so big. Okay, let's see what I can do here. I didn't want to rip out this entire thing, but I don't even know if I can rip out the entire thing. Oh my gosh. What should I do here? I might have to get a saw. I'll be back. I have to bring out the big guy here. Let's see if this will work. There we go. So now I'm going to pick off all these leaves and then slowly pick these guys off. So now that I cut the stalks off, I'm going to cut these leaves off and then I can store the main stem all together. And then pick off as I need. This bed is a little bit of a disaster right now. I'm gonna let these leaves compost in place. I will eventually pull out the rest of these brassicas, but I'm just letting them go to seed so I can save the seeds. Some of the Brussels sprouts are still quite small, so I'm gonna leave those ones. And then of course the carrots are still in here, but I will wait to harvest these carrots, which you can kind of see there. My grandma always taught me to wait until the first frost to pick your carrots because apparently it makes them sweeter. So I'm gonna listen to Nana and wait until our first frost. The sun's starting to come out. Please don't judge my garden right now. This is what grass looks like when you're gone for 5 weeks out of the entire summer and your summer is really short and you have a quackgrass issue. Yeah, please don't judge the garden. It does make the garden look really lush, but man, is it ever overgrown. There are so many things living in there, and the mosquitoes have been terrible because the grass is so long. So if we start down this path here, which is barely a path right now, we have corn, and it's not looking too bad. I've never grown this variety before, and yeah, some of the ears of corn are very small. Oh, this one looks like it's starting to be eaten by something. So let's just open this one and see what it looks like since it's not going to be usable. Oh, that's actually, wow. Oh my gosh, maybe I do have corn. I should check this out. Look at that. That's pretty amazing. Next we have, I don't even know what to call this. We have some sunflowers here that haven't opened yet, but they look like they will soon. Then some squash down here at the bottom, some sweet peas, which are flowering, but the ones over here look better if we keep walking around here. So, some things to note here. Artichokes, they're getting big, but I haven't had any flowers. None of them are really doing much, so I don't think I'm gonna have a very successful artichoke year this year, but I think that these look so cool, so I'm gonna probably grow them again. And then if you look on that side, we got some black-eyed Susans and some calendula. More corn over here. Some lovely yellow snapdragons. Snapdragons are one of my favorite flowers to grow in the garden because they just go gangbusters. Just look at that view. I swear something's been coming into the garden to sleep because there's just like a depression here, and I mean, I don't know what else would make that shape, but yeah, we'll see. And then I have a melon here that I put a little piece of glass, you can see there. I actually put a vase and it broke, so I put the 1/2 there just so that this melon doesn't sit on the ground. You can see that something's been already trying to get to it, but I want to make sure that I'm able to eat that one because I haven't been able to eat any of the melons in my garden because things have gotten to them first. More sweet peas here and some amazing cosmos. Zucchini is just going gangbusters as well, just so many. I need to harvest these all today too. There's another one there. There's a few in here that I'm gonna have to kind of climb over everything and get. I think this is just 3 zucchini plants and we've had so many. And if I move on here, we have, I can't remember which one this is called, but it's a gourd from, or a squash from Baker Creek that has a bunch of warts on it. I'll find the name and put it on the video here on the screen so you can see what it is. And then some more sunflowers. And then this is just a bunch of squash and stuff that that isn't ready for picking. So I'm gonna go put my camera down and we're gonna harvest this zucchini. As well harvest some of these little ears of corn too. There's an anthill right here, so I'm going to try to this one's not quite ready yet. We have a bunch of tomatoes. These black beauties are not ready yet, but they're all ready, looking so good. Like, look at how beautiful these are. Look at how beautiful those are. such a pretty color. So none of them are ripe yet. Oh, this one feels maybe. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's starting to blush. Oh no. Oh, this one feels a little too squishy, but well, it looks good. We'll see how this tastes. We also have, I think these ones are beefsteaks, so they're not quite ready yet, just starting to blush a little. And then we have a bunch of San Marzanos there, and then a bunch of sweeties, sakuras, and sun gold cherry tomatoes, so that you can see those there. And then as we move down, look at those lovely sun golds. And as we move down, we get to these, which are the Prairie Fire tomatoes. I only have had a couple of these so far because things keep eating them, but they, like Exhibit A, but they have this beautiful stripy coloration, and when they're fully ripe, it's very distinct. And I really like these, they're really sweet. And if you're not aware, you can pick tomatoes when they're not fully red. So if they just started to blush, like this one for example, it's just starting to turn red a little bit, you can pick these and they will ripen on your counter. It doesn't affect the flavor or anything, and if you're like me who's having pest issues, doing it that way is actually, it might help you with your harvest. And you might be able to get more tomatoes if you pick them early rather than waiting for them to ripen on the vine and something else gets to them before you. So I've had a pretty terrible pepper year this year. My shishitos seem to be the only things that are growing, which I'm not mad about, but I just haven't been getting a ton and they are pretty small. So I think what happened is in the beginning of the season they were being overrun by grass, which they still kind of are. And then because the grass was so long, the slugs were bad and they seem to be like eating the flowers off of the plant. The grasshoppers have been pretty bad too. You can see that there's quite a bit of grasshopper damage here. So yeah, not the greatest pepper year, but c'est la vie. You can't be mad when the view's this good though, hey? By far my favorite area of the garden, this view in particular. Cosmos, the trellis with the birdhouse gourds, it doesn't get any better. Sweet peas are doing really well. Then this is the other side of the zucchini plants, and I actually have a couple that I need to pick from here too, so I'll go grab those in a second. And then on the trellis here, so it's mostly birdhouse gourds, as you can see. So lovely. Just look at how big these are. So mostly birdhouse gourds, but we do have some Kajari melons. We have 2 there, 1 down there. Then we also have a Burgess squash here. I think that's the only one on the vine at the moment. And then on this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 birdhouse gourds that are all massive. So coming along to this side, I have a couple cucuzis. If you can see, They're quite large, and I just harvested one this week. I will post a photo right here so you can see how big it was. And there's another one that's about the same size over here. So they're doing quite well. The little cucamelons are doing okay. Like, we've harvested a handful, but I've heard that these are quite prolific, and I haven't noticed too much of them this year. Nothing crazy. And then more tomatoes, which I will pick in a second. There's a big spider's web here, so I'm just gonna get it out. And the mosquitoes are so bad right now. I'm struggling to pick everything because they're flying all around me. Lovely little tomato harvest. So coming through this way, we have more cosmos, which look beautiful as always. I just picked all these tomatoes. On that side, there's some cucumbers. I just love how weird these cucumbers have been growing. That's a sign of poor pollination if you didn't know. So haven't been getting great pollination this year in my cucumbers, but I feel like I never really do, to be honest. And then the bean trellis has been insane. There are so many beans on here, and I was hoping that these would be small beans. I know that seems like such a weird thing to complain about, but I was hoping to can these and pickle them, but they're so big. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but I'm gonna harvest most of them, I think, today and try to figure that out. Then over here we have some patty pants that I'll also harvest today. This is another squash. I'm not sure what this is, but it's not doing very well. Some sunflowers, and then there's some edamame here as well. That's just not ready yet. And then this I'm really excited to show you. So I came in here today and found this massive wine cap mushroom. It's huge. Look at that. That's my hand for comparison there. So I'm gonna harvest these today as well. figure out what I'm gonna do with them. If you have any tips, let me know. Now let's cut this big wine cap mushroom. Look at that. That's pretty incredible. So this is the stage you actually want to eat them at. When they're kind of in their button stage, this is perfect. Another lovely harvest. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for following along today. The harvest was incredible. I am very happy with all the food that we've gotten out of the garden this year. It's been such an abundant year. I'm very grateful, very happy. All the rain that we've gotten has made such a difference in my garden. So yeah, I gotta start preserving this now, so have a great week in the garden, and I will see you next time. And once again, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.